1 2 1 2. Yeah. Whoa. Are we on? I believe so. Welcome. It is episode 76 of Camp from the Porch Show. Because it's Camp from the Porch Show, where every sound has a story. And I didn't really prepare any notes today because it's a reflective and celebratory moment. I don't really want to educate, I guess, I just want to I want to be in a space where we just reflect, we kind of vibe, and if the conversation gets encompassing and we want to get into topics, then we will. But right now, man, it is all about just this weekend. It is Labor Day weekend. I hope your Labor Day weekend has been going well. As you can see, it's going pretty well for me. Look, I got the shirt Mike had on and beat it. You dig what I'm saying? That's how I feel today. Beat it. You know what I mean? And I'm feeling like a legend. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling like the king of pop before it's even a thing. You dig? But very seriously though, thank you for tuning in. We're gonna start off with music. For sure, first this time, even though I love getting sidetracked on the conversations, the topics, I love when we can just talk in general. But I do at least want to go over two albums that I gave my first listen and a half to. Actually now 2 listens probably total, because I listened to the songs that I really want to hear again just to make sure. And some of the other joints I kind of like skimmed through them, like, And so we got 2 albums to talk about. And then we're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about me. We're going to talk about 5 years as of yesterday, August 29th, 2020. I took my happy self right on down to Middle Tennessee. It was a lot of things in that time of life. And I want to talk about it just a little bit, give you pieces of the life that is mine, and hopefully you can get some game from it as well. But start with the music, man. Westside, Gunn, and Joey Badass. 2 new albums, 2 new projects that are out right now. They're in your phones. I don't know if they have tangible copies like vinyls or CDs or anything like that. But I definitely want to talk about the 2. Hey, and you know what? Because it was difficult for me to find, or it took some scrolling or whatever, I want to let y'all know I ain't listened to it yet. But Duke Deuce got an album, Rebirth. It just came out. It literally just came out. I think the release date literally was yesterday. Yep, August 29th, 2025. 11 tracks, 30 minutes, 37 seconds. Duke Deuce, Rebirth. I'm definitely going to listen to it. I'm a huge supporter of Duke Deuce. I think he makes some really dope music, even if it is, kind of like repurposed. It's like repurposing the 3-6 Mafia sound for this era. But Juicy J messed with him. They got tracks together. I think the young brother's dope. And I think he has a lot to offer. So check out that Duke Deuce Rebirth. I will as well. That might be one of the albums we talk about the next time we get together. But right now, let's get in the Hills Have Eyes too. Westside Gunn. Westside Gunn. First of all, the wrestling fan in me will always appreciate what Westside Gunn does. Heels Have Eyes. I want to make it out to an event. I want to support by copping merch. I want to do the whole 9. You dig? And it's very cool that Westside Gunn is still in this pocket and in this lane, and like all the posers, if you will, and all of the people that they tried to ride the wave, even though they are riding the wave in a different way now. But at least they're not trying to ride the wave musically. And so now it preserves the value of what Westside Gunn and specifically Smoke DZA do, because Smoke DZA was doing the Ringside series the week of WrestleMania, and those projects were dope, where he was rhyming over the wrestling beats or samples used for wrestling songs. and that was always dope. Look, man, Hills Have Eyes, Westside Gunn. It's a Westside Gunn project. I like to think of some of these projects as like appetizers because Westside Gunn has this uncanny ability to give you some very good product, but there's levels to the good product that he gives you, much like the Griselda Camp, really, if we're being honest. And what I enjoy about this project is that it's super listenable, but the Hills Have Eyes series, for instance, is not touching the H series now, or the Fly God is an Awesome God series. The Fly God is an Awesome God series is I think that's the best music that Westside Gunn creates. And it's almost like he takes his style and his own personal sound to a different level during those projects. So I'm always anticipating those. Some of those, oh, and also like the praying series, right? Pray for me, pray for Paris, still pray for me, pray for yourself, I think is one of the projects. And it's levels. And I enjoy the levels that Westside Gunn delivers in regards to his projects. Is this totally like mind blowing? I think like Still Praying Was For Me. Which one was with Sid Vicious on the cover? Let me go through my library real quick because I bought that album and I was totally like enthralled with that album. That album was it was great to me. It was so refreshing to come at the time that it came. Yeah, Still Praying with the DJ Drama joint, the DJ Drama project. I love that project. And this isn't that, but this is a dope project. 3 out of 5. Westside Gunn, I don't think he's ever going to be in a position where he's giving you less than 3 out of 5. You know, if you feel like you're getting less than something like dope, because 3 out of 5, even in the source back then, it was like, it's dope. Over half of this, I super mess with. It's some gems on here. It's some gold on here. You can get down with this, and that's what this is. Westside Gunn is absolutely capable of giving you a 4 out of 5, a 5 out of 5 project, and he will, especially if I think it's Fly God is an Awesome God 3. If that's coming out, then he's definitely going to give you that. But in the meantime, this is a nice appetizer. Hills Have Eyes too. And the artwork is crazy. Of course, he got Virgil getting in the ring with the custom Hills have fourth rope belt, though. The custom Westside Gunn $1 million fourth rope belt, which is also dope. He's taking his wrestling promotion very seriously, and that's also good too. They obviously have a good relationship with AEW, Tony Khan and the guys over there, and I'm interested into how much Gunn and Smoke grow this wrestling promotion. I would love to be down with it in some capacity, and hey, being here in Tennessee where TNA is, and being close enough. I mean, we're all one plane ride away, right? Or we're one DM away from making a positive or impactful business venture happen. So I would love to be down with the whole fourth rope movement, because it actually is quality. They have quality athletes there. Some of them have already been on the scene. Some of them are rising stars in other promotions, and since they have the ability to work as independent contractors, they're doing really good jobs. And I like how it is Black owned, but more importantly than that, it's hip hop culture fueled. You know what I'm saying? It's very art driven. It's very ingrained in the like fabric of really like indie wrestling. It's not like the XFL where it's just trying to be so anti. It's like, nah, this is another sector of the culture. Like, we grew up on rock and wrestling and all of that, and we get that, but this ain't so commercial. This ain't broke either. This ain't less than. This competes. And I enjoy what he's doing with that. Next project, which I won't lie, I was highly anticipating. Matter of fact, I think I hopped on this platform, my platform, and I was telling y'all about how I was anticipating Joey Badass Lonely at the Top, the album. I was anticipating listening to it. So I did get to it. I had to take a ride and threw the album on. And this is cool. It's cool. I like it. I don't have anything bad to say about it, but I will say this. This album is dope. It's 3 out of 5. But man, the way Joey kicked off the year, I was expecting, and he didn't promise this. He didn't say this was going to happen. This is just how I feel. I felt that we were going to get a Joey Badass and Conductor project. You know, with the Rulers Back and Sorry Not Sorry. And then, of course, the Red Bull freestyle. Joy was in a specific bag. And one thing I will say that is refreshing, though, what's very refreshing, is that Joey didn't mail it in. You know, this album has, 11 tracks. That seems to be the sweet spot now. 11 tracks, 39 minutes and 33 seconds, right? So he has that. And neither one of those songs are on there. Anything that he already put out. So the Ruler's Back is not on the project. Sorry Not Sorry is on the project. I want to say, of course, all of the disses, even the joint with him and Loaded Lux, they're not on this project. So he gave you a fresh 11, a fresh new 11 tracks for you to get into. And they're good. They're good tracks. Listen, for me, my spirit, my hip hop spirit, right? My hip hop spirit was telling me, yo, if Joey Badass is going to do a whole album with Conductor, I'm all in. I really want to hear this, you know? But that's not what we got. It's not what we got, and that's okay. That's okay, because it's not bad music by any stretch, right? My favorite joint on here is the one with Westside Gunn, though. So I want to go on record and saying this, while respecting this project and seeing that it is dope, I would rather Joey Badass lock in for 11 tracks, 11, 12 tracks with Westside Gunn and Conductor. I think the whole album should be produced by those guys, produce and executive produce. And that's not to defecate on the people doing their thing, because the Dark Aura joint is a cool joint. Chuck Strangers and Moo Latte, they did that joint. And like, I'm not saying that it's chump beats on here or anything like that. I think Boy Wonder's on this project. Yeah, Boy Wonder's on here. And he has it's like he kept it in the Family Boys Are Rolling. There's not many of these producers I really know outside of Boy Wonder, Aesthetic Selected did a joint. Other than that, everybody else is, I guess they just the home team. I'm going to assume that. And again, it's good. Rado did the Westside Gunn joint. Hey, dare I say, maybe getting in with Derringer and Conductor is the move for Joey Badass. Or just having Westside Gunn EP, the next Westside Gunn project, to do his New York thing. Because, a lot of people are always claiming to be the king of New York just over our time, over my life and time in rap music. They've all been trying to do that. But the only person I think I have to believe on the king of New York conversation, being an outsider, not born and raised in New York, never lived a year in New York. But if I'm looking at the optics and I am watching and I am listening and I am absorbing the culture and the music and the sounds that come from New York City. Westside Gunn is the king of New York State. Now, he's not from New York City, but I think he does the NYC sound better than anybody in NYC. And I mean, obviously, I think he agrees. He agrees with that too. Um, I think this is good, but Joey has better projects than this. You know, the All American Badass album is a better project than this. And man, there's another one. I mean, it might just be I don't think it's actually a project, but he dropped a joint called Fallen for You, I believe. Fallen or Fallen for You. And that was a dope project. You know, the 2000 project, I think, is a better project than this particular one is. But again, it's not bad, but it's lacking the firepower, it's lacking the vigor, it's lacking a lot of the energy that was going into the year. So I would like to know about that. I mean, obviously, you know, Joey has he's in a very unique place in our lifetimes, right? Because Joey Badass is 2025. In 2015, you definitely knew who Joey Badass was. In 2012, you knew who Joey Badass was. And he's the only literal kid from the blog era that's still here. Like, he's just now 30. Wow. You know, you associate a Joey Badass with an pro era, with the TDE run, with the ASAP mob movement, and you associate it with, you know, it's in the pocket of Cole and the Dreamville run and all of that. But yet he's literally now just turning 30 years old. It's very reminiscent to me of when Eric Sermon, I want to say, yeah, Eric Sermon was on Rap City, and he was just doing I think it was the Eric Onassis album. I said Jackie Onassis, that's crazy. The Eric Onassis album. Yeah, because it was around 98. It was now 98, right? And you know, EPMD is considered a legacy act in hip hop. EPMD was out in the mid to late 80s. They were putting out albums then. So Eric Sermon get on there talking about this Eric Onassis album, and he was like, a lot of y'all favorite rappers and a lot of the rappers that y'all are, you know, talking about today, they're older than me. I'm now 30 years old. And I was like, wait, what? Like, are you sure? Are you sure about this? And sure enough, you know, he was right. Like, even though he is, you know, he's a great contribution to the era that is Run DMC and Jam Master Jay, Eric B, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. You know, him, Eric and Parrish, and also LL Cool J, they were like the literal kids. They're teenagers, you know? So when I was like, damn, like, you've already had a 10 to 12 year career and you're just now turning 30. It was just amazing to me. It was amazing to me to come to that reality, because like right now it's and a matter of fact, I think it came up in the Joey Badass interview on the Breakfast Club, and I do recommend y'all check that out. It's a really great. They were talking about how obviously Joey Badass is a younger guy, but he's in an older class, and they said, yeah, you know, Rakim and Jay-Z are the same age. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, wait, no, but it was like, no, they said Big Daddy Kane and Jay-Z are the same age. And it sounds crazy because the 80s hip hop seems so far away, and like Smooth Operator, Wrath of Kane, and all of that. That feels so far away from Reasonable Doubt, was dropped in 96. But if you do the history, Big Daddy Kane was also one of the guys that was first giving Jay-Z a shot, Jaz-O and Big Daddy Kane. And there's footage of Jay-Z trying to get on stage just to kick his rhymes during a Big Daddy Kane set. But obviously, Kane is the man. Like, he's already a legend by the time he's doing this for Big Daddy. I mean, for Jay-Z. But they're literally like the same age. And then it takes Jay another, 5 or 6 years from that moment before we get Reasonable Doubt and things of that nature. So it's just interesting. It's just like, I think that's just interesting conversation to have in the world of hip hop. Joey Bada is only 30 years old. He's technically just getting started. There's another gear for him to hit. I'm talking about Joey Badass and Westside Gunn in the same breath here as new music. And all things considered, I want to say Westside Gunn is almost, if not for sure, he's like 10 years older than Joey. Or yeah, because Westside Gunn is around my age. So yeah, he's over 10 years older than Joey Badass. But yet Joey Badass there, and even Westside Gunn, Benny, Conway, Spesh, they're also considered like this era. So technically Drake, Kendrick, Cole, Wale, Big Sean, all those guys, and Joey, they're the era before them. And that's why ageism in hip hop is whack. That's why we don't need it. That, like, whenever you hit your stride is when you hit your stride. Whenever you create your art, that's when you create your art. And when the planets align for you, and when God grants you favor, and you're hitting on all cylinders, put it out, because you never know. Again, I tell y'all often, and we're going to get into it here. I've been very blessed. I've been very fortunate to consume other cultures of music, consume other genres, because everything is Black music, right? We are the watch sinners if you don't believe me, but Black people, Black artists, Black art, Black musicianship in America specifically is definitely, we have created everything through gospel, rhythm, blues. Everything comes from that, right? We are some of the first country artists as well. But I'm saying all that to say, I love consuming the other pockets of music and seeing how, specifically just white, Latin, even Indian cultures and groups and demographics, how they treat their artists. And man, I just pray that we just we do better. We do better. We are literally, y'all, that this is one of the times where you can say all, and this can really be true. Black music genres of rap music and R&B music specifically, we are the only ones trying to label our legends and our legacy acts and pushing them out the way. We are the only ones doing it. That is it. Nobody is trying to get Elton John out the way. Nobody's trying to get Willie Nelson out the way. R.A. Rahman is not in danger of going nowhere. Tego Calderon and Carlos Santana are not threatened by nothing Bad Bunny's doing. Like, we Black people, Black Americans, the Black delegation, we are the only group of people that are making a big deal of a rapper being 30 or a rapper being 45 or a singer taking a 7-year hiatus and coming out with a new album, or an R&B artist that wants to now do a country album. We're the only ones making it a big deal. We're the only ones speaking negatively about it, you know, and that's unfortunate because so many other genres have artists that are well past their prime, but they're still creating with the new young talent. And they're still creating for the people that love to hear from them. And while that music gets protected and that music gains and grows, there's another generation to be put onto it. You know, you may know Vince Gill and you may know the Eagles, right? And there is a generation of young people right now potentially learning about Vince Gill, and he's a country music Hall of Famer and all of that, you know, member of the Grand Ole Opry and all of that. But he's also on tour with the Eagles. He's a part of the group now. So even that history is something that young people are learning now. And why am I emphasizing young people? Because these young other young people that are guitarists, pianists, um drummers, and forming their own bands, or they're house bands, or they are um just on the road, because, you know, obviously when you do have acts like Leonard Skinner, AC/DC, the Eagles, Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, you know, some of these groups have lost members, whether it's been, you know, death, or just old age, or just enter turmoil within the group. So they need new musicians. And not only that, though, they're going on tour with younger acts. So they're in this ecosystem of forever, you know, like a lot of the other reason why other groups and other genres last so long is because younger acts are going on tour with the older acts, and they are busting that down and exposing themselves to newer audiences. Another thing that we just don't do well in rap music and in R&B music, you know. And I hope we get better at that. I hope we get better at preserving our legends and our legacy acts. Because truth be told, we will absolutely support. It's just that we can't support without slander for some reason. Excuse me. I never look at, like, for instance, Madonna. Let's look at Madonna, right? Madonna's literally been putting out music since what, like 83? And as you know, Madonna has went through so many phases in her life, but she's even put on an album this decade. And whether it's a classic or not is not even in question. It's like, yo, Madonna's back outside. But Madonna's created new music. She's about to go on tour. And there's some people that want to see that. There is no publication that is going out of their way to talk about how old she is, or complain about how she's still doing music, or wondering why. You know, because we can't have it both ways. We can't be like, "Are you still rapping? Or you still trying to do this?" But then we also, on the flip side, be like, "Oh man, but when y'all gonna get back together though? Like, can we reconcile? Can we squash the beef?" Like, you know, like you can't have it both ways, because coming back together, like a group, like Drew Hill, for instance, it's like 8 members of Drew Hill now, right? And I would love for Woody to be back in the group, but at the same time, Woody getting back to the group, Drew Hill, the original 4 members of Drew Hill, because they're also alive. The original 4 members of Drew Hill coming back together for all of us and going on the tour, only for us to see interviews with them, like talking about the breakup, talking about what Cisco said to about being the best R&B dude in the world, and then R. Kelly dissing them. And then, and we only want to hear beauty. It's like, bro, like, why? Like, we never think about that. If you're going to constantly dwell on maybe the highest and or lowest moments of an artist or of a group, and then you wonder why they don't want to do media, they don't want to do press, they don't want to put out albums, or how it's hard for them to get a deal. Let's talk about that. It's hard for acts to get deals. It's hard for artists to get deals or to get distribution or to get placement when we talk negatively about them. It's really difficult. Because even though one person and one opinion, right? However, you have to be in the mindset of how powerful is this word when it travels. Some people really don't ever know anything. They just know what they heard and they regurgitate what they heard. I could have got on this platform and today I could have been on here, and whether it's 1 or 2 people here or if it's 30 people in here, I could come on this platform and be like, yo, I'm not going to use a real name because I don't want, something to get clipped and it sounds stupid. Yo, MC Get Busy album super trash. Man, it was like 3-4 joints on there out of like 17. Yeah, look, I wasn't feeling it. I thought it was garbage. I say that, right? And now 30 people hear me say that. Out of those 30 people, you could say for sure 15 of them are just going to run with what I said and never even listen to the album. They're like, no, Cam said it was trash. Cam from the port said MC Get Busy latest album was garbage. I ain't even got to listen to it. It's trash, bro. It's trash. And so all it's going to take is for one person that probably wasn't there to listen to it, to be like, yo, hey, listen, I'm messing with that new MC Get Busy. Like, I'm messing with it. Man, I heard it was garbage. You heard it was garbage. Why don't you listen to it? Like, what happened to having your own mind, listening and having your own mind? That's the beauty of music, because we're not all supposed to love everything, but at least have your own mind to have a conversation about it. Oh, excuse me. But saying all that to say, man, protect Black music, protect Black artists, protect Black musicians. Westside Gunn's album, Hills Have Eyes 2, dope. Joey Badass, new album, It's Lonely at the Top, dope. Give them both a 3 out of 5. The bar is extremely high. I still have the bar being what the bar has been for me this year. Clips album, which I think is the rap album of the year. Freddie Gibbs album, Alfredo 2, Step Brothers for Life. That's Starlito and Don Tripp. And man, there's another one. Of course, Jid's album, Ghostface Killer's album, Supreme Clientele 2. Now, see, like I was saying on the last one, right? See, this is a 3.5. Supreme Clientele 2 is a 3.5 because I don't have it better than Freddie Gibbs or Step Brothers or Clips, which I have 4 and 4.5 to 5 range, all of those. But Supreme Clientele 2 for me is a better album than both Hills Have Eyes 2 and Joey Badass Is Lonely at the Top. That's how I do my rankings. I don't speak for any other platform, but I have a standard. There should always be a bar. And I look at music year by year. I don't want to compare it to everything. And sometimes you just compare artists to their own work. And you get the direction they're going to, if they have different direction, or if they're just giving you just art. But for me, when the Clips album dropped, because a lot had happened. Wiz Khalifa's album, Wiz Khalifa, Cushion Orange Juice 2, I have in that 4 to 5 range. Because for a minute, the Wiz Khalifa album was the bar for me, you know? And then like I have that Larry June and 2 Chainz album. I have it at 3. Now the Larry June and Cardo album, though, I might be able to sneak a 3.5 in on that. But for me, Larry June, Great Escape. Great Escape is incredible to me. So, and now he did that whole album with Alchemist. Producers are making and breaking albums again, man. And I love it. And it's not and now we're getting quality rap though. Rappers are really rapping this year. And the rappers that can really rap are not mailing it in. They're giving you at least 3.5 mic rapping. And then we're putting them with 3 to 5 mic beats. And the marriage is going really great. 2025, we're in August. Hey, look, we damn near to September. It's only 1 quarter left. 2025 is the greatest rap year of this decade by far. Now, with that being said, depending on what comes out this first quarter, I mean this fourth quarter, excuse me, I might want to have a conversation about 2025 being up there with 2005, being up there with 2000 and 98 and 96, and I think it's 87 or 88, one of those years, or 1994. I want to start having the conversation depending on what drops this year. And the only thing that we are expecting to drop in the fourth quarter is Cardi B. That's it. And that still could be a big moment, even though you know half the album. But something tells me that Cardi's going to give us 22 tracks, because if WAP is on there, and if Enough is on there, and if it's Up, then it's Stuck is on there. If all these songs she's been dropping over the last 5 years is on there, she's going to have to give us at least 5 new songs. At least 5 to 7. So we'll see how that goes. But 2025, man, shaping up to be a tremendous year in hip-hop, rap music specifically. I've been enjoying it. There's a lot of music out here, no matter what your vibe is, no matter what kind of content you want to hear, no matter what you want to get into, it's out and it's of high quality. So I definitely recommend you get to it and you get to listening to it and sharing it. Tell people the dope stuff you're listening to. Support what you love instead of bashing what you hate. It's really that simple. So more music coming up. We're going to switch it up. Gonna listen to that Tiana Taylor album. Probably gonna listen to that Duke Deuce. You might get a few episodes out of me next week. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how it goes. Yes, yeah, I did see that Drink Champs too. Jones, welcome. According to Bleak, Hov is in the studio cooking too. I'll be real. I'm not anticipating a Jay-Z album. I'm not. But that don't mean there won't be no heat on there. I knew the tide was turning on Jay-Z collectively when Sorry Not Sorry dropped. And usually everybody can't wait to tell you how much Jay-Z's verse is better than Nas's verse on the Nas and Jay-Z collab. And on the couple joints that might that's probably factual. Except Success. I love Nas's verse on Success. But Jay-Z, I think we're not tired of Jay-Z. We're not. But what would Jay-Z rap about right now that's going to connect to just people, culture, things, right? Because I think just even with the way the economy is, we don't want to hear how rich Jay-Z is right now. So I'm kind of curious on what he would even rap about. The joint with Jay Electronica, he was on this black empowerment, black power stuff, and the wizardry in his rhyming was crazy, but that didn't stick. That didn't resonate. It for whatever reason. So for me, to be real, I'm not anticipating the new Jay-Z album, but I will absolutely listen to it. Because it's Jay-Z. How am I not going to listen to the new Jay-Z album? You know, it's one of those things. I'm sure that's how people feel about like Bruce Springsteen, right? Like, yo, it's the boss. How am I going to listen to the boss, bro? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm going to listen to it. I'm not going to go that far. I just want, like, when Snoop drop an album, I'm going to listen to it. There are some people you're always going to get a listen from me. And for some people, I'm getting back to this. You're going to get a purchase from me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let me see. Hove could rap about life in general. Why not give him the same leeway we give Nas just to create? Hey, listen, I do. But when y'all, and Jones, I think you were in on this, when y'all let 444 go out for 3 hours and you call it a classic and you're saying it's one of the best albums he ever did, and then I listen to it and I'm like, why? That's like we do this thing with Jay-Z where like every time he dropped, he getting 7 mics out of 5. And then reality sets in because the songs haven't played over into the next quarter. And Jay-Z's done his own Andre 3000 verse run where Nas has consistently put out projects. Nas gained forever cachet with me at Hip Hop Is Dead. You know, like I was like, oh, he's never going to stop making conceptual albums, or he's not going to stop talking about, as you just put it, life in general. When's the last time Jay-Z's rapped about life in general? You have 30 years of Nas rapping about life in general. You know, whether it is Memory Lane and One Love, or dang, and Represent or something like that. But then even when you go to let's pick I Am or Nostradamus, whether it's Project Windows, or if it's You Won't See Me Tonight, or Undying Love, or Favor for a Favor, or Can I Talk to You? And then fast forward 2000s, you got songs like Second Childhood, you got Sly Fox, you have all these different joints. There is not a moment in time, there's not an album in time where Nas has been too rich, too powerful, or looking for smoke with people that disrespect him, because he is constantly rapping about life in general. This is crazy. I'm going to let this ride because this is crazy. Get the Hove hate out of my heart. Hove hate me. Listen, there's nothing y'all can do to put Jay at the top spot for me. Jay has never been my favorite rapper, ever. He wasn't my favorite rapper in 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000. You can't call me out for having Hove hate, because only J.R. Bang and I speak positively about Volume 1. All y'all hate that album because of 3 songs, which means you literally don't know the rest of the album. That album is great. That album to this day competes for a within top 8 slot of all Jay-Z albums. Volume 1 and American Gangster are way higher from just the content alone. And see, and that is also my point. Check this out. If you haven't heard it, if you haven't listened to it in a while, when Jay-Z was rapping about life in general, y'all didn't fuck with it, because that's on Volume 1. And that's why I love the album, because I was like, oh, wow, shit. And even though I'm in Freeport, Illinois, I ain't did half of the shit he talking about in there. It's just it was the vulnerability and the emotion that was channeled out on "You Must Love Me" and "Lucky Me," and even "Where I'm From" and "Imaginary Player" and "Streets is Watching," and there is joints on there. It's some of the best Jay-Z songs are on that album, and people swear by that album being garbage because y'all don't like Sunshine and not liking the song with Babyface on it is crazy because look how y'all go crazy over fucking Comfortable. I had to say that. That was just important to me to say. It was just important. All right. So are you saying 444 isn't a classic? Or we just called it a classic too soon? Just want to be clear. Yeah, hey, listen. 444 to me is not a classic album. And you definitely called it a classic too soon. We didn't even get to the end of the year and people were talking about it's a classic. And that album, excuse me, 444 and Lemonade, we forget that the propaganda behind it is that, oh, it's 444. Jay-Z got caught cheating on Beyonce, and then he was up late and put together this album. Okay. R&B niggas been cheating forever and making songs about women, and we don't call a lot of that shit classic either. It can be dope music, and it is dope music. I'm not acting like it's the mid pack on there because it's not. But again, 444. We got that, and then we got the Carter's album, which again ain't a bad album. It's not a bad album. For me, it's the same thing. It's the same thing I say about Kendrick. It's the same thing I say about Kendrick. Everything dude put out ain't classic. How come some shit just can't be good? How come he can't put out a good album? It'd be dope music on it, and we just rock into it. Why? Why is the narrative? Why does the narrative have to be? Oh, he put it out as classic. Oh, everybody heard it in the first 72 hours, so it's classic. It's like, no, it's not. Like, again, GNX is a dope album. Damn, dope album. Hey, look, To Pimp a Butterfly. For what it is, it's a dope album. We just call everything fucking classic. And why? Because he's your favorite? Because you felt Logic copied it? Like that's the bar? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the bar. We don't. Oh, okay. Hey, bet I'm here for this. You asked for the link. You get the link, sir. Hold on here because I am absolutely passionate about this this perspective that I have. It's because it's not again, music can just be great. Music can just be great. We act like because we never did this. We don't do this for many artists. We didn't do this for Pac. We didn't do this for Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't that. It wasn't that. And it took time. But when you realize that the gap between Ready to Die and Life After Death is 3 years, and the album is still playing and the remixes are still playing, it's like, okay, maybe this is one of the best albums I've ever heard. Maybe it is. And I shot the link to your messenger, sir. You know what I'm saying? Because it's never going to stop, my brother. We're going to keep going. The link is in your messenger inbox, sir. You go ahead and do what you got to do because I'm here for it today. It's been 5 years. You see the skyline and look like Cam said, look at the pool. Look at the palm trees. I'm on vacation. No, but real life, it is it's Jay is an incredible artist. He's an incredible MC. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. But that doesn't mean that just because he had relationship turmoil and he wrote one song about it and wrote a couple other songs about him purchasing property, that it's classic. Don't get me wrong. It's words to live by on that album. It's definitely words to live by. You can put that on and you can educate yourself just on the sly. You can educate yourself and you can and be of it can be of value to you, but it don't make it classic for me, only because, again, hey, look, y'all know the game I play. Cultural impact. And okay, let me go. Let me see. Add to the stage. Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, my bro, what's good?
What's happening, sir? Oh yeah, here we go. I might have to put my headphones all the way on for this.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. Let me make sure you get this right. Matter of fact, hold on,
Right.
because even though I know where I'm at,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. People gotta know I'm still from Illinois, man. From at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. See red. I got the Beat It shirt on, the match. I wore Jordans and everything today in Nashville. Talk something crazy to me, but I'm gonna give you the floor because I already know. I think I know what you're about to say. And I'm just here to respond because, hey, Kendrick is always the hot buddy for you.
Oh man, no. See, the thing about it is, first and foremost, congratulations on your 5 years, man. That was a big move, man. And I'm proud to see that you're flourishing and doing well down there, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Now, we got to get to the smoke real quick because you attacked two of my favorites, man. Number 1 and number 2. 1A, 1B, brother.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
All right. Now, you are one of the people that convinced me of the Volume 1 smoke. So I got to give you your credit on that. When you said that, and I really thought about it, I was like, you know what? Let me check out Volume 1. Like, go through it again. And not just go by the internet or, like, the hip-hop consensus at the time. Volume 1 is incredible. It just got... I know what girls like is trash. You take that off of there, and if you reshoot the video, the Sunshine video, if you reshoot that album is phenomenal. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. No, hey, but you're right though. I'm glad one more person has at least done that. Listen to it now that it's not 1997.
Yeah.
And tell me that album ain't got fire on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now we got to get to the first. I'm gonna attack the 444 things.
For sure.
444 is most definitely a classic. My thing is this. Sometimes now in the pantheon of hip hop albums, you just know, like you just feel it. It's like, hey, it's something about this joint. Now some albums are just good, and some albums are really just special. You can feel it. The thing about that I know makes 444 a classic is, for one, like you stated, the narrative around it. That whole narrative between that, Lemonade, and then the Carter's album. I don't think the Carter's album is a classic. It's just good. But the narrative around that story building, that adds to the mythos of that album. Also, one of your things that you love to say is cultural impact. So I bet cultural impact, anytime since 2017 that a rapper grows up or matures or makes a thought-provoking or self-reflective album, what do they call it? Oh, that's their version of 444 from here on out. So those two things. And they got joints on it. Like, it's some ill Jay-Z joints on there that's going to ring off forever. Now, are they the top joints in his catalog? Are they big pimping? No. But they're great Jay-Z songs. So I don't see how you can say that's not a classic. Did we call it too soon? Maybe. You know, shit drop at 12 o'clock midnight. By 1 o'clock a.m., it's a classic. But some albums, they just feel special. The Clips album is a good example of that. Once we all collectively heard that, I'm not too mad at people calling that a classic early, because you got to stand on what's great in the culture. You got to, now, everything can't be a classic. I agree. But you got to allow our culture or hip hop to say, this is it. If you know how they ask the alien question, if aliens came, what would you play for them? That would be hip hop. It's normally classic albums that you cannot deny.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you cook because I've been waiting to answer questions just like this. This is great. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let me see. You're right. On the cultural impact end, the Jay-Z, like people like you said it perfectly. Whenever a rapper after that moment, and to be clear, y'all, June 30th, 2017 is when 444 dropped. And ever since then, for that pocket of time from like 2017, 2027, damn, 2017 to the pandemic, anytime a rapper over 30 had penned something that was giving you their life, they were saying, so, oh, it's like your 444 album.
Mm-hmm.
But see, for me, Jones, I think that's more of the copycat league that exists more than the actual quality of work being put out, because be clear, out of all the 444s, nobody out 444 Jay-Z.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Right. So right. So it's like, so if you're not even giving me anything on the quality of that, it kind of hurts the cultural impact, because it didn't change the game, and now Public Enemy back out here, and we're rocking, and or because like, look, at the same token, 444, I think, inspired a Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers more than people realize.
Yeah.
But yet people front on that album like that's not great.
Okay.
That because and be clear, I'm not saying 444 is the mid pack. It's not. It's right. actually a very dope album. I'm just becoming even more careful with what I call classic now.
Okay.
Because we obviously we live in the moment, and we know what we like and we know what we love, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I watched Jay-Z impact a generation,
right,
by saying some of the wildest, most reckless, or just general bullshit.
Okay.
And 444 ain't do that. Like for instance, are we gonna credit Jay-Z for stopping the violence in Black communities, as well as the increase of Black ownership of property because of what he said on Story of OJ? Or are we going to credit the mayor of Baltimore, the mayor of Chicago? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we like? Did the albums do that?
I think that's unfair, period, because that's a huge task that you asking for that one album to try to achieve. Like,
right.
That's come on, bro. Like,
no, you're right. Hey, you're right. But that's the content on the album, Jones. Yeah. That's the content on the album.
But I'm sure, just like how it might have inspired Joe Blow to acquire a piece of property, a rental property, or something like that. Something small. I'm sure it has like small effects. Now, to rebuttal the point that you made about nobody has out 44 Jay-Z. It is often hard to outdo an original, but you can't front on the fact that people have done it and done it kind of good, kind of well. Like 444 is the starting point. Like it's after a while, I think that'll just be in the DNA of hip hop albums. Like, yo, this person showed you that you can grow, how you can grow in hip hop. He can give you a little more. Yeah, Nas did it with Life is Good. I'm not gonna front on that either.
Yeah, 4 years before. 4 years before.
I'm not gonna front on it. But also, Jay had the storyline to go with it that a lot of us young Black men go through. You know, you get married or you're in a relationship, you ain't treating your chick quite right. Hey man, chill out, slow down. You got a lot to lose. So it kind of give you that. So that's why I say, like, the impact is there. I just think you just can't outdo the biggest rapper that we might have outside of Snoop, or the best rapper that we've ever, like, who is gonna outdo Jay besides Nas? You know?
Right. Yeah, hey, fair. Here's my other thing. and no Google, and this is not even a trick question.
Mm-hmm.
Out of every person that a Breakfast Club or a Big Boys Neighborhood, Ebro, whatever platform it was, out of everybody that said, "Oh, so this is like your 444 moment. This is that." Whose album,
Mm-hmm.
complete album,
Mm-hmm.
comes to mind when you hear that phrase?
Man, you know what? I was actually thinking about that while you were talking. It ain't too many. That's just being honest with you. It ain't too many that I go back to and really say this is that. Maybe I'll say maybe Killer Mike Michael, but these are people I already enjoy anyway. So I'll
Right.
say maybe Killer Mike Michael, but he was already on that vibe anyway. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, but he was already kind of on that vibe anyway.
Thank you.
But that's my listening habits though.
But see,
That's me.
but Jones, but you are my point. See,
Okay.
hey, look, this is no different than when back in the day we were arguing over Good Kid, Mad City
Right.
being the classic within like 8 months or whatever, or 2 weeks or whatever. And I was telling you, I was like, y'all act like I never heard a storytelling album before. Like this is literally that. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to keep in mind, you and I, because we're real rap music listeners.
Right. Yep.
Don't tell me about how 444 is such a groundbreaking album and you don't listen to Killer Mike albums and you haven't heard a Kendrick Lamar album.
That's
If you
fair.
don't listen to Nas, if you haven't heard Tech Nine, even some of those, you know what I'm saying? Like there are artists giving you their entire life on albums. With time, people are starting to realize that Eminem is definitely rapping about way more. If you haven't heard Recovery, don't tell me how groundbreaking 444 is.
Okay. Now before we pivot,
Mm-hmm.
the Kendrick Lamar thing that's in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Before we pivot, I'll say this. I think the way that you're judging hip hop is from the smaller standpoint of this should make a way bigger splash and we should see the effects of it. I think hip hop has gotten so large and music comes out so fast that
Mm-hmm.
we can't necessarily hold on to those same 1994 metrics. Just using Illmatic as an example.
For sure.
Illmatic drop. Hey, everybody says it's an instant classic. You can kind of see the effects of it. Or Rakim changing everybody's flow in 87, 88. You see the direct effects of it, but that's a puddle, then a pond. Hip hop is like an ocean now. So like
yes,
everybody can be over there listening to the Lil Yachty's, the Yeats, and all of that. And what Jay-Z doing ain't really going to affect them people because they don't want to hear that anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or people just want to vibe out to Drake all day long and not really mess with the rest of hip hop. It ain't gonna really affect that. So that's why I'm like, I don't think those metrics are as fair because we come from it being a smaller, more ancillary thing.
I hear your point, and I'm going to challenge it because Metro Boomin and Zaytoven, I feel, started the wave or restarted the wave of rappers wanting to get with one producer to make albums. While rap is an ocean. Because now look, I would say I think the producers are creating the ocean and they're making the pivots more because now when you think of Alchemist, you don't just think of the dude that also produced on Murder Music or the dude that also gave Dilated People's beats. It's like, oh no, he has projects with Action Bronson. He has projects with Freddie Gibbs, Currency, Larry Jones. Like there are people that you can attach him to. Cardo got wings, Metro Boomin, Zaytoven, and Gucci Mane. Like that's the thing. Metro and Future, that's a thing.
Right.
And true, hey, Drake and 40. You know what I'm saying? Like these are all things. And this is why rap is this ocean. And unfortunately, where the copycat league comes into play now because if you can't afford Metro beats, you can emulate it over here.
Yeah.
And you can emulate and you can just say some bullshit or whatever, and maybe it work. And that is why people can be secluded. People are trying to make their own puddles in the ocean, I think, versus it's so big of an ocean that it can't be impacted. Because look, let's be very clear. We went from calling Lil Yachty one of the worst rappers in the world and one of the worst rappers to ever do it. So now we were low-key giving them respect for being able to rap alongside J. Cole.
Hey man, he gave us 2 dope verses. I ain't ready to throw that, give him no props for nothing. A broken clock that's right twice a day.
See, but see, where I'm coming from now, though.
Yeah,
you see, hey, bro, just because you got slaughtered on the J. Cole track, don't really mean you rapping.
Right, yeah.
Like that don't like your verse not hard just because J. Cole paid the fee and signed off.
Right, exactly.
Like it just means that you won this month. That's all this means.
Right.
Like you may have even came up.
And you did better than you normally do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's literally and Yachty could have came up with the beat. He could have even came up with the style of flow. But J. Cole showed him, no, this is how you really do it.
Right.
Like even in the midst of the battle and all of that, right? Well, no, not in the midst of the battle. When first person shooter dropped, Drake and J. Cole, and it was like who had the better verse or whatever, right? That was the conversation. And then Yachty brings Cole onto his platform talking about how it don't matter. And Cole was like, no, yes, it do.
Right, exactly.
It's like, no. Just because you can't out-rap neither one of us don't mean it don't matter. Right. And just because you like the song and maybe Drake is more your man's than I am, it don't mean that it don't matter. because Drake was trying to rap his ass off on them B-sides with Cole on that other track. So I think that's more what I'm speaking to, right? Because Jay-Z is forever a trendsetter. He is always a level. He is always a bar in hip-hop, no matter what he decides to do.
Right.
But I do think at the same time, we're in an era where people are just so quick to compare that it's given false illusion to a classic. Look, I got Clips album, Let God Sort Them Out, as the best rap album of this year. And I'm going to tell you, Jones, off the rip, we are in August 30th of 2025. I'm not calling it a classic right now, though. I'm just not. Okay. It's a fire fucking album. It's like I feel the way I felt when I first heard the War Report. And maybe it will be a classic. Maybe. But right now, it's just some of the hardest shit I've heard in a long time.
Now, to go along with that, you just know. You remember what classics feel like. You've been around long enough, so you know what they feel like. And also, we got the previous generation, the people that came before, the OGs that was putting us on, or the big bros or cousins or whatever that was putting us on. Yo, this is classic.
Yep.
The source, before they did the bullshit 5 mics, the original, this is a classic. Go listen to this. So we know what it feels like. And I also think hip-hop is always fighting to prove itself. It's still a relatively young genre, even though it's 50. It's still fighting for validation. And we validate within ourselves. This is a classic. This is a classic. This is a classic. And I think the younger generation, and just the use of the internet and hyperbole, because I know hyperbole being used to get attention, you gotta say it. You gotta put it out there for at least the debate, for everybody to come look and say, hey, man, all right, they calling this is it? Man. Or, okay, this, you got a point. So, like, just using, matter of fact, we can go to the next point. GNX is a perfect example, right? GNX is really good. Is it a classic? As a Kendrick Lamar fan, I would say it is going to be. Is it now? No, but I think it's going to be because, again, you got the narrative behind it, and you got when it came out, and how good it was. It's like the crown jewel from winning a battle. I say GNX is no different than Stillmatic.
Okay.
Because, hey, Nas drops that right around the time he decisively wins the battle.
Mm-hmm.
And, hey, everybody is on this. Now, me personally, I think Blueprint is better. But I can't fight the tide of, Rewind, Got Yourself a Gun, Ether, all of those joints, Second Childhood, all that. I can't fight that. It just is what it is. Right. Same thing with GNX. You got all those joints on it. It's only really one song on that I personally don't like. You got the tour. You got the battle. All of those things. It's like, can you really front on this album? Mustard and all of the things that came out of that will make it memorable 2-3 years from now, 5 years from now. Can you really front on it?
No, but is it possible to not front on something and it still not be a classic?
What makes it not a classic? What doesn't give it that classic status?
Well, one, I'm on record, and I'm going to stay on this record because if GNX is the seed that's replanted to rebirth generational or regional sounds, then it is a classic to me.
Okay.
Then it is a classic to me because, but unfortunately, what's happening right now is West Coast rappers are doing their GNX album or their GNX EP or their GNX single. And it's like,
okay, now hold on. I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I will say is this, right? When Straight Outta Compton dropped, I know that's a big comparison, but when Straight Outta Compton dropped, everybody who saw that did their version of that until you was able to wade through. Hey man, come on, bro. We not doing that. Like everybody can't be easy in them. But you have, I don't want to call it derivative because that sounds negative, but you have derivative versions of that. Without Straight Outta Compton, you don't get Compton Most Wanted. You don't get Above the Law. Variations of West Coast joints. Mac 10 down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Jones, see, do you think AMG and NWA sound alike though?
No, but the subject matter is the same.
See, subject matter, cool. I'm fine with subject matter.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm talking about sound and sonics. And because we forget NWA Straight Outta Compton drops, but so does It Takes a Nation to Hold Us Back.
Right.
And somewhere along the line, those two worlds do meet.
Right.
It's just one ain't saying she swallowed it. That's the only difference.
But I'll say this though. That's two different coasts. Even though you got a point. That's two different coasts. So that's two different cultural perspectives making music. So yeah, they do meet a little bit, or they kind of mesh a little bit just under the guise of hip hop. But New York and LA are two totally different places. Everybody that comes from LA kind of now in this modern age is falling from somewhere on that NWA tree, that ruthless tree. So like you get pieces of that because it was so big. Like everybody immediately that's making GNX Part 2 or their version of GNX, that's gonna fall by the wayside. But everybody that's seeing them like, okay, the West is winning. How can I get in where I fit in? Also, this the other thing, like I stated a couple minutes ago. Hip hop is so large that that's a splash, but I bet how do you make that stick? I gotta because everybody want to do their own thing, and then you got like the lawsuit and the Drake. You got an active fan base trying to downplay that on the regular. So you gotta fight that. That's something we've never seen before. Like when Nas won, I wasn't actively trying to downplay Stillmatic. Yo, this Stillmatic. No,
I don't know. I know you didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, because look, because you're doing it as an adult, so I don't know.
No, well, okay. I I don't downplay Stillmatic's greatness. I just think it got 5 mics just off the strength of we don't want to piss these two people off. But I would never say the album is not dope. I would never say Stillmatic is not dope. Mm-hmm. You got an active online fan base, and the generation and like how we communicate is different. Actively every day trying to say Kendrick is whack, Kendrick is whack, y'all don't really like that, y'all don't really like that, y'all don't really like that. He only popping because of this. Versus it just being, yo, that was dope. He smoked, dude. All right, let's go. Let's do something else.
So I see what you're saying, but again, I'm going to offer pushback because I think still at the same time, no matter what, there is a lot of rappers rap about the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. So again, when I hear GNX, the immediate thing I thought about, okay, this is how Compton, Watts, LA, I'll give the whole region, they can have that one sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that to me should inspire another actor, artist to come through and do the same thing from wherever they from. See, you're thinking NWA to AMG to Mac 10, Spice One, Selly Cell, and all that, and I respect that. But what I'm thinking about is NWA now Too Short, because that's another part of California, and now E40, but then now the Ghetto Boys in Houston, and now Twista in Chicago, now Public Enemy, because like even there, Public Enemy, X-Clan, the Intelligent Hoodlum, none of them sound alike, but yet subject matter is definitely the same. KRS-One, all of that, same mindset, same ideology in the music, different sounds, and they're all in the same city. So for me, when GNX drops, and matter of fact, look, and I know ETD, but I'm tired of giving people this pass for being on TDE, because Joey Badass wins that battle because against homie Ray Vaughn, he ends up winning the battle because he starts sounding like Kendrick and Baby King. Like, that's why he's winning. I think if we went from a technical standpoint, Ray Vaughn probably did out-rap Joey Badass. But Joey Badass came so originally Brooklyn. He came so 2025 Brooklyn that we don't want to hear the GNX homie. And that's why he really lost. And that's why Daylight couldn't really fuck with it. It's like, bro, you were trying to mind bend a little too much.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and simple but effective. It's just like how I'll tell a short story here real quick. I remember when the Wu-Tang Forever album first dropped, and my guy Pro, my cousin Pro, he was like, man, the only person I like on Wu-Tang is ODB. And I was like, what? Like, how is that the only person you fucking like? Right? You know, it totally blew my mind. But now, as I listen back, because my horse in the race was the Genius. I thought he was the best member on album 1. I could tell people were trying to sell me that Method Man is the best member.
Yeah.
But then Only Built for Cuban Link comes out. Then Liquid Swords comes out. Then Supreme Clientele. Well, I'm sorry. Then Return to the 36 Chambers. And I couldn't, for the life of me, couldn't understand why I could not stop listening to Return to the 36 Chambers. Because the bottom line was, I was like, look, this is so innovative, this is so creative, but let's not sell them short. Like, Old Dirty Bastard can really rap.
Yeah,
he can really rap if he really feels like it. But and then when you listen to the albums, it's like, okay, the most entertaining song on the entire Wu-Tang Forever album is Dog Shit. It's the most entertaining song on there by far.
Yeah.
Triumph. We definitely give Inspector Deck his respect for having one of the greatest lead-off verses of all time on any rap song ever.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't tell me when that beat first drops and you hear Old Dirty Bastard just talking this shit,
yeah,
that it ain't like that's not perfect.
Yeah.
It was like, is he gonna rap too? But that's his part.
Yeah.
That's his part.
That's his contribution. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, but it's so undeniable. And that's the thing. If you're gonna make your 444 or if you're gonna make your GNX, it should be personable to you and it should be undeniable. Like that, and that's where the carbon copies are. That's where the copycat league comes into place. It's no different to me from Meek Mill obviously has the greatest intro of all time, right? Dreams and Nightmares, greatest intro.
Right.
And all we did after that moment in time was watch everybody do their version of it. And we don't fuck with none of them, Jones. We ain't talking about none of those.
Now, I will argue. Doesn't that speak to their own version to impact everybody? Like if you jump something off or you start something and everybody imitates, isn't that a version of impact, regardless if it's successful or not? Because everybody saw Run DMC and was like, yo, because the first superstars in rap, really.
Yeah.
Yo, we got to do that. Now, it's a bunch of rap groups me and you have never heard of in cities across America, across the world.
Yep.
But it's a lot of them that was like, let's do our own version. That speaks to impact. It's gonna be a lot of GNX remixes. Everybody gonna get introspective and do their version of 444. But there's an originator who you can't surpass because it's just what it is.
Okay. I'm gonna concede with a caveat here because I like what you said. I really like what you said. Because you know what I want hip hop to do then? Because I do agree with you. I can't even deny about it. Because like if people biting your style, so to speak, if people copying off you, people trying to emulate what you've done, that is the epitome. That is the definition of cultural impact.
Right.
We need to get back to the era of people being like, yo, you took Kendrick shit. You biting Jay-Z shit. We gotta get back to that. We gotta get back to that. Because for me, Jones, I would love for like, instead of somebody saying, oh, so this is like your 444 moment. I want them to be like, oh, so you taking the Jay-Z shit? and just see how they answer it.
Now, Pete, I gotta get back to work because I'm at the gig.
For sure.
Before I go, I'm gonna give you a little bit, right?
All right.
For one, Jay-Z kind of took Nas shit with Life is Good. Yeah, just a little. He probably saw that and was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm going through my own marital issues. Let me do my own verse. I will never admit this again publicly. You better clip this now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You already know. This might be the only clip I need ever.
Yeah. And then with Kendrick, you could argue for West Coast folks that knew he kind of doing his own version of Draco the Ruler's Flow. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Now you can call it homage, you can call it biting, whatever you want. What say you? You know what I'm saying? But these are the larger rappers, so like Run DMC was larger than Curtis Blow. They saw it from somebody and was like, we can perfect this.
Yeah.
And everybody's gonna imitate them. You know what I'm saying? So
no, very true. Very true. Can't deny that. And I think real before you leave, I think Kendrick will always get the pass because he's always made it clear that he putting on for LA. Like he putting on for the city. It's like it's almost like he was like, yo, this ain't even my shit. This is just about us. This is like that's what the pop out was really about. It's like, no, this is just this LA shit. Like
and he not cornering the market on it and saying, yo, this about me.
Yes. Agreed.
Yep.
Right.
All right, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you as always, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Love. Later, bro.
All right, later, man. 444 ain't classic. But man, hey.
I gotta go.
Oh man, my guy Jones, man, always a good time. Always a good time, man. Nothing like a great music conversation. And on that note, I won't hold y'all too much longer, man. It's time for me to celebrate. It might be a mic bite type of night. And I definitely want to just reflect real quick, man, before I get to my own personal festivities. You dig? 5 years ago yesterday, August 29th, 2020, man, I made a very bold and faith-filled decision to move to Middle Tennessee. I was specifically in Gallatin, Tennessee when I made that move. I originally was trying to get to like downtown or East Nashville originally, but just through logistics and pandemic pricing, just found something that just made more sense, especially since I didn't really know the land and know what I would be doing, what my actual fate would be. I didn't really know it, so ended up being a great move. And I want to share some things just in an effort to inspire or to be sort of a, I don't want to say, well, also always inspire, but to maybe help you sort out whatever you might be going through. You know, as I see people on the very little that I'm now on social platforms, just reading comments, I be sifting through and unfollowing people with all that relationship talk. Hey, most likely, if you're talking about relationships at a high volume and gender war bullshit and how you can't find a man and where the good man at or where the good women at, I've probably unfollowed you. I think you're trash content wise, but it's all good. I don't like dislike you as a person in real life, but that's neither here nor there. I see people kind of concerned about what's next for them or what they should do or if they should take the leap. And the last 5 years for me, I want to share with everybody, it's been nothing but leaps. Nothing but leaps. You know, I don't talk about it often and only because I always come in peace. And I know that maybe people may be feeling this way or maybe have gone through something similar to this. You know, it wasn't until my grandmother passed that the need for me to be more intentional about how I build with family and specifically my own daughter, it became you know, even more paramount than what it was, you know. And sparing no words, if you know, you know, if you don't, then it is what it is. But I've had quite the roller coaster. I'm trying to be a parent, trying to be a positive and impactful parent. And uh I after I lost my radio career and after I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my life, and you know, my first marriage was not going great, and then my grandmother died. So like there's so much going on with just that alone. And then, you know, from a psychological standpoint, I was watching, you know, in the through all that time, you're watching, you know, the Mike Brown, you're watching the Sandra Bland, you're watching the George Floyd, you're watching like all these things, just Black Lives Matter. So black men are dying at a clip unheard of. At least it's being publicized that way. A lot of these men are fathers. Dude, Kobe dying with his daughter and their ages being aligned with my age and my daughter's age at the time. So many things was just bothering me to like a mental degree that was really unbearable. And I chose to go to therapy before I made any too many more decisions. Because once I made the decision to move, it came with immediate resistance and immediate feedback. I was going to go into this with a loss. And you know, the valuable lesson that I learned from that is that every man should have a plan. Every man should be at least have that plan written down, and it's paramount that when you are in the process of trying to execute that plan, that you have people around you that want to go with that plan. You know what I'm saying? Like we are all our own individuals. We're all our own humans, and don't we don't necessarily have to agree to or help execute someone else's plan. Um, they do say love does conquer all, but that's unconditional love. That's, that's a different thing. Um, Looking back on it and why I did what I did the way I did it, I knew what I wanted to do. I now had a plan, and I was not going to force someone to be a part of that plan, especially when everything that was previously planned or poorly planned or however you want to call it wasn't going that well anyway. So going to therapy, getting all these thoughts and emotions out of my mind, doing a lot of crying during the summer. I got a chance to live by myself again. I kind of moved, isolated myself. I really had really next to nothing. All I had was clothes in the car. And then for part of that, I was living out of my grandmother's car. You know what I'm saying? Until I was able to afford my own vehicle. And I'm saying that because, again, this is the height of the pandemic. My grandmother's services, her memorial service was like literally the day the lockdown started. So there was even talk about how they weren't going to let us all in the church at the same time to be there for the service and all that. It was a wild time. And after that, I then sit and I pray on what to do next. And I was like, yo, I gotta get to Tennessee because something in my spirit is telling me to do the best that I can or do an even better job of keeping family tight and close together, right? And then to fast forward without too many details, I ended up on that journey alone. And when I mean alone in the biggest fashion. Like it was just literally me and my truck and the money that was in my bank account. Um, I don't share this often, but I wasn't talking to anybody that was a blood relative or family member because some people even tried to talk me out of this or it was things that were being said that was just almost like it was on a whim or it was just an emotional reaction. And to be fair, I don't think it's wrong to say because for a lot of years of my life, and I am not afraid to admit this, I was not a man of great planning. And I think that is something I had to learn on my own. No, I don't even think I know I had to learn that on my own. And a lot of my missteps in life are because of the way I failed to plan. Because if you have a plan, you will stick to it if it really means as much as you want it to mean to you. So, I spent a lot of my teenage years, my 20s, and my early 30s of just devoid of plan. I didn't have a real plan. And a lot of times that went to bite me in the ass. But this was probably the first real plan that I had. And I sat on it for a while and a lot of raised eyebrows, a lot of feedback, pushback, speculation, and even I would say even false hope, maybe in some other eyes. You know, Obviously, me moving to a different state to be closer to my my daughter or our daughter could also make the optical illusion that I want something else, even though that was never communicated, that was never written down. Even what I wrote down and sent, it was not in a method to say, oh, hey, this is what it's going to be now. It's like, no, I'm on a personal spiritual journey. And the spirit of my grandmother is telling me that I gotta do my best. I gotta do better at doing the right thing. And I am happy to say that through all of that, original turmoil, man, the payoff was incredible. The payoff was incredible to get to this point and see the look on our daughter's face when she knew I would be 5 miles away versus being 3 states away or 5 hours away, or all the different things that we had to do when I was chasing my dream that was not even deferred but dashed, and I look back on the last 5 years, and man, so much has happened. So much has happened to me, man. Positive and negative. You know, it's I sit here today, and in the past 5 years, what there's been separation, there's been divorce, there's been remarried, there's been high, positive, great parenting moments, and there's been some of the lowest parenting moments. There's been court dates. There's been just there's been more therapy. There's been uh, uh, gaining jobs, dodging layoffs, only to get your hours cut and to have to leave, and then store closures, and then you lose new friends. You don't have old ones. A lot of your relationships and the things you're trying to build, they're crumbling down, or they're not the same, or the energy is different. There's so many different things that I've been able to experience in my last 5 years. But the one thing that I'll say is that I would absolutely not change any of it, because it's all because I planned and I moved here. I spent a lot of years in my life living places that did not feel like home. Even in my own hometown, I kind of felt out of place. Chicago, I didn't necessarily fit in that much either. I love New York, wanted to move to New York. Still not, I don't know. I don't know if I should rule it out ever. I don't know. But never got a chance to move to New York, but there's something about New York that I truly do love. Um, Lived in Atlanta for about a year. Not for me. Not who I am. And the biggest takeaway for me is that I made this move not because of me, but because of purpose. I made a purpose-filled move, and I would challenge everybody to do that. You know, have purpose in your move. Mine was to try to be just a better parent, to the want to be a more active and present father. That is why I moved. And I was intent on making the most out of that no matter what. But it also did help that I had visited here, and I had kind of knew what the vibe was. I enjoyed the weather more. So even though it's been snowing crazy, at least 1 week out of the year since I've been here, that's kind of crazy. Well played, God. Well played, right? But I think about just the planning and the intention, like the why. You gotta want to do more than move just because, oh, everybody's going there. Like, I moved to Atlanta in 2005, not because everybody was going there, but I had a very poor plan of executing impact in having a music career. We didn't plan it out well at all. We kind of just went with what people were saying versus really having a plan. The plan to get an apartment and be there, that went well, sort of. But the actual plan to execute something and have a goal to achieve, that was not planned out very well. And within the last 5 years, I have executed some very short and long-term goals. I'm very happy to say that a lot of them have come true. A lot of them have been executed. You're not going to get joy without pain. You're not going to get life without turmoil, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? You know, I still will always hold on to the moment of when I pulled up for my daughter's 10th birthday party and the look on her face when I told her that I was moving here, and how happy that made her and how happy we were in that first full year. Even 2 years, maybe even to that degree, where things between us couldn't have been, well, it could always could be better, right? But they were as great as they could be. I always have those moments. I always appreciate and love those moments. Um, but now, she's a teenager. She'll be 15 this weekend. She'll be 15 tomorrow. It's crazy. I have a teenage daughter, and she's out celebrating, herself as she should. And I pray that she's having an amazing time. And also just pray that things are just better. I haven't forgotten why I'm here and why I wanted to be here. And you know, Charlamagne the guy had a very great quote that he was just using in casual conversation and interviews. He was like, "This era would have never let Malcolm Little become Malcolm X." And oftentimes, I mean, because we see it every day on the internet, social media platforms, everything, you can always do right until you do wrong. And then once you do wrong, people feel that you can never do right. And I think we're all in the battle to be better than the versions of the people that we were in the years before. But, and also, though, we also, in this era, we love to hold people to one mistake and make it forever. Like we like to die on the hill of, no, but this one time that you did this or said this or had that was the one time. And that's all it could be, right? But uh that's not God's way. That's not forgiveness. That's not love, right? And I say all that to share with all of you, just so you can have just insight, having insight on what it means to grow and be the person that you need to be. Hold on, young, 1 second. We got a caller. We got a caller calling in. What's happening?
Hi, am I live?
Well, yeah, you're live. I mean, you keep calling,
Can they
so
hear
you're
me?
live. I'm assuming
Oh,
they can.
hi y'all. There, I was just wondering if there was food there. If I need to stop and get some food before I come home.
No,
Like, did you cook? Is there salmon?
yeah, the salmon's here and some chicken here.
Okay, well, I'm on my way.
All right. Well,
Bye.
you're welcome. Bye. All right, y'all. That's it. Jones just missed that, but hey, we got mad people coming in for the celebration tonight. That was KP. Y'all know my wife is always around somewhere. But I'm back to my original point, man. What I want to encourage young men, or just men my age. I'm still a young man by some standard. But what I would say to all the young men out there, man, please make plans for yourself and write out those plans, and make sure that, and as you go through life and you're trying to execute these plans, that you your don't let distractions overtake you, and know how to overcome adversity. Surround yourself with love. Surround yourself with the people that you actually love or actually like or actually want to be around, because you don't want to get into the trap of trying to coexist with people that you had no long-term intentions with, or if you had no positive intentions with. I know hookup culture is a real thing, and hey, even to a degree, hey, listen, I'm no stranger to it. I'm not exactly a virgin. I like that. My holy bodies are definitely not my wives and my daughter's mother. You know what I'm saying? By no stretch. But that doesn't mean that it was the best thing to do. It doesn't mean that it was the right thing to do. And I would just, again, with knowledge, with understanding, with me living this life and with reading books and with me wanting to do something with my life other than fuck bitches and get money, right? Since I have a deeper purpose in that and I feel I have a deeper purpose than that, I absolutely want to tell you, young brothers out there, no matter what your color is, too. I want to tell you, young brothers out there, man, make sure that you practice your own discipline and you have your own plan, and only give time to the people that you actually care for. Only give time to the people that you actually love. Anybody that you feel is only worthy of a night or worthy of a weekend or worthy of a summer or just on some playful, or like a plaything. If that's your goal with a woman, or whatever you into, but I'm going to talk about women because I'm a heterosexual black male. If you don't see any kind of value long term in any woman that you're dealing with, then I would recommend just cutting bait, cutting it right there. It's no reason for it to go on. And that's not to spoil your fun. That's not to say that, I'm saying, oh, you want me to be a square, you want me to be a lame. It's like, no, I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to save you from some heartache, my brother. I'm trying to save you from some hurt. I'm trying to save you from court dates. I'm trying to save you from drama. That's what I'm trying to do. Because and this ain't even me telling you to just have one woman. You know what I'm saying? That this is not me telling you, oh, I'm super pro monogamy and you should just only be with one woman for your whole life. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you plan and execute and build community. If that's what you want to do, build with one woman. If that's what you want to do, don't be distracted by the outside noise. A man with a plan and honesty will get so far in life, and you will always get what is meant for you. That's a fact. And God will make it so. If you believe in God, He's gonna make it so. So, you know, even though I serious this out, because I wanted to say that, I think it's important, man. I will say, man, I love Nashville. I'm actually like you see that, you see the skyline. Look at the palm trees. Look at the pool. Look at the palm trees. I'm on vacation. No, but look at the skyline. Look at the lights. You know what I'm saying? Hear the traffic. I'm in the city. You know what I mean? Midtown. I've been having a blast. Um, I'll say for year 5 for me, this was the greatest restart, the greatest reboot I could have. Um, Made some career changes, and even with that, having the plan for that, still learning what is and what isn't for me. I have announcements that I'm not even going to share right now because I want to. We got to get to the next day so we can know that it's truly real. But man, what I do want to do right now is I want to take some time in year 5. I want to just thank everybody. Thank everybody that helped me with this. One of the first people I told I was moving was my guy Rob. So I want to salute to Rob because we were living in the same complex at that same time. I used to get high and walk in the rain over to his spot, and we vibe out. Me, him, and Junior and his wife. Autumn, we being out there. I was my cousin was hooking up the crazy Rice Krispie and Snickerdoodle edibles, and I was just vibing out, man. I was on some get high just to get by stuff, but it helped me. I ain't gonna lie, I had raw dog life for so long. I started not using like drugs. Like I would never on coke or heroin or like crystal meth or anything crazy. Just a little cloud talk. So I want to thank Rob. I want to thank my guy Sam, uh, aka Proper Fiction, because Sam, when I first told him I was going to move, and the reason why I was going to move, he hit me with this bar, and it always resonated with me because he was like, God is not going to punish you for trying to be a good dad. And I was like, man, I didn't do it on the phone, of course, but like, yo, I hung up the phone, and started crying when he told me that when we were when I was getting ready to make this move. Um, I want to thank the homegirl Keisha, who won't absolutely will not see this because she's never anywhere social platforms exist, but um she was hooking me up with all the discounted hotel rooms when she was working for a company that we will leave nameless because I don't know if you're even supposed to say it. And just and making sure that I had like an overnight place to sleep as I was packing up everything and getting into the U-Haul and coming down here. And also just being another friend that always shoots very straight with me, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I was in the process of going to therapy and losing people and losing things and losing family and having so much loss in an effort to get this gain. And she was another person that definitely helped out. Like to thank the homegirl Kaiser who randomly hit me on yesterday because when I was on the way down. I had to crash on her couch so I wouldn't crash off of the bridge, and she let me crash. And when we talked about Chadwick Boseman dying, yes, it's been 5 years since Black Panther Chadwick Boseman died. We talked about that real quick, and then I dozed off and got back on 65, which also makes me say, gosh, shout out to my man Griff. My man Griff, congratulations. He has a new daughter as well right now. And I think he'll be getting married really soon. But he was one of the people that called me around. He's like, yo, you moving? I was like, yeah, like I'm in the car now. I'm on 65 right now, nigga. And we were talking about that, chopping it all up. And man, just always thanking him for just listening to me through this whole process, man. And I'm sure there's other people to thank from that time of 2020, but those are the ones that are sticking out. I think everybody else is just positive encouragement. Shoot, man, shout to Jizzle and Cloak Describe because I was in the studio that summer. We were putting together music and they let me do one of the Shy City ciphers, and that was a good release for me, and that was just a good time for me to kind of just get reconnected with who I wanted to be or who I thought I was. And I think that's it. I don't think anybody else that might sound crazy, but I don't think anybody else needs a personal shout out. We talking about spring, summer 2020, and those are the names I remember of all the people that have helped or contribute to me to get here, to get to this day. My therapist, my original therapist. She's not a doctor, but I'm gonna call her Dr. Shirley. That's what I was calling her. I actually picked her as my therapist because she had the same first name as my grandma, and it just felt like that was just the right thing to do. I was like, yo, your name is Shirley. My grandma is Shirley. I'm here because I am not processing this death well. and then I watch Black men are dying in the streets every day, and I'm about to lose my marriage. I'm trying to be a better dad. Like, I need help. And she was the first person that I was able to talk to, my first therapy session, and she was a great deal of help. And she told me a lot of things that I still am reminded of today. And so I do thank her. I wish I had her last name, but she's in the Chicago area. Specifically, I shouldn't say Chicago area, but she's in like Joliet, I think. I could be wrong. Don't pay no attention to me on that part. But if you have been going through things like this, go to therapy, man. I know it helped for me. It definitely helped for me. It helped me to because even and you know what, and even my therapist, because we got a few sessions in, a couple months had gone by. She was even questioning me making this move. But I had to tell her, much like I'm telling you all, as maybe you wanted to make a decision like this, or you've been contemplating a decision like this. I was like, I'm not making this move because I'm running for anything or running from anything. I am making this move to be in pursuit of something that makes me super insecure. You know what I mean? I don't like the fact that I am not a 100% active and present father to a child, because I know what it's like to come from that, and even though, again, you can say things, you can affirm things, but when you don't plan things, it's hard to live up to that. you know you don't get the chance to. You can always say, like, man, I ain't gonna never be like my mama, I ain't gonna never be like my pops, I ain't gonna be like the mother niggas. Like, you can say that, but you have to also be intentional with the planning that comes with that you know and for fellas, for you young guys out there, again, because I know what it is, what I'm saying. If even if you're a six out here and you ain't really got no money in your pocket, what I'm saying, that don't mean you can't be out here recklessly skeeting whatever you want. That's not what that means. But you have to have better discernment. Again, I tell you young guys out there, again, man, surround yourself with men and women that you actually like, that you actually want to build with if you do come into these occurrences. And if you are um having sex unprotectedly, or you are just kicking it and it leads to something else, at least make sure that you really want to be invested in that person. Like, that's the most important thing. you know every relationship starts with friendship, and if you're not even friends with the person that you are, you know they say laying down with, but like, even if you're trying to just knock off or trying to fuck on, is how y'all say it, like, you at least want to be able to say that you like these people, man or woman. You should really want that for yourself. And if you don't have it, my advice to you, and I'm telling you because I did it, you need to cut bait. You need to cut bait before it gets too serious, before it goes too far left and you're in a situation that is just not easy to fix. And because in those instances, somebody's gonna have to be the bad guy, and most likely, if you're a black male in America, you are the bad guy, and there will not be too many people that will see it differently. You know, so again, it's encouraging your strength. It's encouraging your ability to plan and to use discipline and just to be great, be your greatest self. Again, whether your goals are short term or long term, write them down, really look at them, see how you can execute them, and let nothing that has any feeling other than love and positivity get in your way. That's super important. um for everybody from my hometown or wherever you might be listening from, I'm sorry. Moving can be a very powerful thing, but don't just move to places just because you heard about them or just because you think that might be the best place to go to. Really learn about cities, go to them, visit them, even if it's for a weekend, or if you can get a whole week out of it. Go somewhere, go to the area you want to be into, and say, is this for me? Am I really making this move, and for what reason? I know a lot of people, well, not a lot of people. I've seen people joking on people like, yo, you left your hometown to still work at Kroger. And it's just like, well, nobody know me at this Kroger. So shut up, right? Like that, that's okay, because that's okay. That's okay. Because you have to do what you have to do to get where you need to go, and then you can expand and flourish from there. Um, Whatever your aspiration is, you might want to own the Kroger. You might want to be a manager, or just because you're not moving away to become a superstar or a celebrity or some like high profile athlete doesn't mean that you're not making a great move and that you're not making an impactful move, because this is your life. You have to live it, and you have to live it at your speed and on your terms. So I encourage all of you, no matter what you want to do, even if you want to, move to Louisiana and work for Mercedes. Like, it doesn't matter. And you guys start off in the warehouse or in the plant and you putting together cars. Don't let social media uh, opinions sway you from what you have planned and prayed on. If you're not going to pray, you're not going to plan. And if you're not going to plan and then pray, or after you pray, or before or after, it don't even matter. As long as you're doing both of those. If you're not doing, if you 0 for 2, or if you 1 or 2, it's the wrong move. Again, something that I've lived that I can tell you about. I pray on a lot of things. And I try to be still and wait. That's why social media is difficult for me, because I'm never moving on the accord of other people. I'm moving off of me. So when I see things, or when you see things, I'm literally in my own world. I'm in my own world. I am not paying attention to a lot because I am focused on my plan. And I encourage all of you to have that for yourselves as well. We're 2 hours in, so man, I'm going to cut it short right there, but I will say thank you, God. Thank you, God, for 5 years in a place that feels like home, even with all the positive and negative things, the pluses and the minuses, the wins and the losses, the lessons that have been learned consistently. I have probably grown up the most in these last 5 years of my life, and I have the whole previous like 38 or 39. And I don't take that for granted at all. Because we all should be ever learning, ever growing, and always evolving. And if you haven't, then I challenge you to make a plan to get out of your comfort zone and to pray on that plan. Right? It's 5 years for me. 76 episodes for you. Thank you very much for tuning in to Camp from the Porch Show, where every sound has a story. Again, listen to that Westside Gunn. Listen to that Joey Badass. My wife now wants to do something over here. We'll see what it is. Okay, so, she's the American Badass here tonight. So, let the celebrations begin. Happy Labor Day weekend. Be safe. And as always, know that always and consensually, it's love.